I'm Stefan Lange. I'm a director of photography and a visual effects supervisor. I've done visual effects photography on specialist sequences on the last 8 Bond movies, and lots of visual effects work going back over years on things like Batman, Brazil, Killing Fields, so a lot of experience in film. Tonight, we're here at Brooklands Museum in Weybridge in Surrey. Much of Concorde was designed here, much of Concorde's aerodynamics were designed here. Britain's V bomber force back in the 50s, the first ones were built here. I brought the Titan X2, Rotolight's latest LED panel light, and I want to try it out on a big scale. It's a powerful one, and it's got a lot of tricks. I don't want to think of it in terms of a soft light, and it's just it's another 2x1 light panel. Let's see how versatile a light can be with a bit of imagination, and let's give it a bit of space to breathe. For this setup, what I wanted to create was some moonlight coming through a window. The reason for this experiment, I want to see if I can do it with one lamp. Now what I want to do is choose a colour. I want a moonlight, but I probably like something a bit different. I've looked at the location in there and it's quite dramatic. It's shapes, and it's quite dramatic shapes. So you can get away with a richer colour, I think. So let's go for it. I like this, I can just do it so fast. And just go through a whole range of numbers. That's good, I like that. The other thing is, it's numeric. So it doesn't matter how many of these heads I've got, I can just go to each of them now and set it. Now in full diffusion, it's covering a large area of glass. I don't necessarily need to cover that much. So I can just wind a bit of the diffusion out. I should get a bit more punch in there. Let's go and put a bit of smoke in, see what it's looking like. Okay, that's a murky, greeny kind of moonlight shot with just one light. I'm working in an area that's maybe 30 feet across. So I'm quite impressed with that. I was interested to see what I could do with one light. I haven't even got full power on that because I'm still carrying some diffusion so that it's covering more glass. For this setup, I always like this bit of architecture here. It's just this little walkway that goes across. It always looked like you should be able to walk through a void into some unknown world. So the issue is here, I'd use a Fresnel light to cast shadows up there. Point is, I'm interested to see how this will work without having a Fresnel. Is the light powerful enough to mask most of it off and still have enough exposure? I'll put it on, there we go, let's give it a colour, go with Jade. The light's everywhere, it really isn't doing anything much. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I'm covering almost 2/3 of the light now, and I've got a shadow. We'll see if it's bright enough. If it is, well done Titan, you've won the day. Fingers crossed. I'll tell you what, well done, that lamp's great. And we got a good exposure there, got good shadows and everything. Funny thing is, I've been coming to this place for years, and I've always wanted to film in here. And I always wanted to do something here with the shadows. So finally, after all these years, I've actually got a chance to do it. And even though I've got the wrong lamp, it works because it's so powerful. I can trim the shape of the lamp down to get the shadows. Sorry folks, that's all worked first time. I don't know what else to say. I thought I was going to mess about with that. There's an office space here, which is inside a large building with some glass. Be interested to see how this light would work as a sunlight. I'll put a Titan X2 outside. I'm going to squash down the doors, get a narrow beam of light coming through, a little bit of fill, a little bit of smoke in there. I think it should look nice. No diffusion, 3200, same as the fill. It's quite intense in the middle, literally flooding and spotting. I think it's one of the things I'm enjoying. If I take the diffusion out, I'm using more raw LED as opposed to a flat panel light with diffusion. It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid lamp. What I've done is I've just used one Titan. I've got a second one standing by. It's actually running at about 5 or 6%, going through a 6x6 diffusion to this side of the set. So there's a little bit of soft fill can come in, just to fill the side, the face and the walls, just so the shadows aren't too dark. What I'm going to do now is shout to the gaffer and ask him to go to full diffusion. So go 100% on the SmartSoft and watch the thing I noticed, the way it drops off in the middle where the subject is. And everything does just become softer, more gentle. And here's winding the SmartSoft out, there you go. It's really picking up the smoke that's in the atmosphere now, so you get quite a different look. I love the fall off of this light, but it's quite distinctly different. You get this lovely blend. It's quite intense in the middle and it falls off to the side, or you can spread it out sideways. It's really interesting to see what the change is there. The diffusion that's on there, it looks like an ordinary soft 2x1 panel. It's their new SmartSoft panel. It's like having a diffusion, like having an F3, like having a 216 diffusion with a control on it, and you can wind it all the way down to 0. It's as simple as that. One of the nice things on there is the interface. It's a joy to use. It actually encourages you to go and play with it. It's a good interface, well thought out. I did so much of this evening's work with one light source. You know, not fiddling about, not overlighting it, not trying to correct, not trying to fill. If you take one of those in your van, you're going to be able to do a lot with it.